Hello and welcome to this week's Top 25 Power Rankings, where I cover the top 25 teams in the LOL esports space. Now, this week's video is a pain in the ass. Why, you might ask? Well, the LEC and LCS haven't started playoffs yet. And actually, next week's video will be a pain in the ass too when it comes to the LEC, because they're taking a week off between the regular season and playoffs. LPL and LCK are now on to playoffs. Some teams have played in the playoffs. Some teams have been eliminated. So what are we doing? Well, for this power rankings, every team that is no longer Worlds eligible, that have been eliminated from their regions, will not be in here. There are only 69 teams left, or 68 teams left right now. So when you see the complete power rankings on the Discord under the extra content channel, you are going to see only that many teams. Not only that, you also have to keep in mind that if a team has played in the playoffs, I have erased their regular season stats and inserted their playoff stats, which is throwing my numbers off. Because some teams have only played one or two series. When they only played one or two series, when it's smaller regions especially, becomes a pain in the ass. So, hard to read and decipher, but it is what it is. When you can't watch games, you have to go off of something, and you can't just go off of feel of like, oh, well, you know, that team must be really good. I've never seen them play, but they're probably really good. I can't do that. I need stats, and then stats compared to stats to determine who's better when I haven't watched either team play all of their games. All, not just some. Now, so, 25th are Misfits. I'm not going to have a plus or a minus on here because honestly it's all over the damn place and it's a mess. I have Misfits 25th. They went 2-2 last week. They beat and lost to Fnatic at the same time. How about that, right? They lost in the lost on day 3 of the final week and then won the tiebreaker. And they also beat BDS, a win they should have. Lost to G2. Okay, you're not at G2's level. Fnatic and you are close. I give Fnatic the edge. If you didn't watch my LEC wrap-up video yesterday, I am pretty happy about how Fnatic have played lately. So that is a thing. Also, when you look at these power rankings, keep in mind the top 25 are my opinion. I jostle them based on opinion, and then it's up to you. Why did I do that in black? I'm not supposed to do that in black. Oh crap! I just realized. Oh, if you're new to the channel, by the way, because I'm getting some subs, I do not edit my videos. If I edit my videos, that means I'm lying to you. That's how I view it. You might say, no, that just means that you're putting out good content. No, I think that it's not me. It's me saying one thing and then cleaning it up for you the second time through. Think about how many content creators clean things up for you by repeating it. Are they really telling you how they feel? Or are they just like giving you what they think you want to hear plus what they want to say? I don't care what you want to hear necessarily. You're here because you want to hear what I have to say, and I also enjoy hearing what you have to say in the comments, but, you know, this video is for me to spew random shit. So, Misfits, 25th. Next, I don't know what I was talking about before I got sidetracked, so we're just going to move on here. 24th is Saigon Buffalo. Saigon Buffalo and GAM Esports is 23rd. You're going to say, yesterday they were swapped. Yeah, well, I hadn't updated my VCS stats quite to the level I needed to. They're very close there, like razor thin, so that is what it is. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Top 25 of the power rankings in the extra content tab are my opinion. 26th through 69 is 100% algorithm based. I am not getting in the nitty-gritty of ranking all 69 teams. So VCS, very good region, second best of the minor regions, and that's important to keep in mind. They have not separated themselves from Team Secret and, SBTC Esports, which I think lost to Cerebus Esports today. Team Wales, they haven't really been able to separate themselves as much as we would like, which has hurt them in the power rankings and why it's taken so long for them to enter the top 25, plus teams are now dropping out, so that's the thing. 22nd, PSG. PSG, obviously, long-time great team. Of course, they're up there. You're going to say, where's J-Team? J-Team actually lost today to Beyond Gaming. So you're going to find them towards the bottom of the list because they got smoke showed, and that's what happens. So PSG Talon, very good team. We've seen them year in and year out at Worlds and MSI. Hopefully we see them again. But the PCS are stacked at the top with PSG, Frank Esports, Deep Cross Gaming, and now I guess J Team's dropped out, but those three teams are definitely vying for it. And I'm sure J Team aren't outright eliminated. They're probably in a loser bracket situation, so I wouldn't rule them out either outright. Yeah. 21st, we have C9. And when you watch this, you're going to say, well, why do you have C9 so much lower than who you have out of the playoffs? Well, right now, this is where I have C9. But I think in best of 5, C9 are going to surpass teams. But because the LCS haven't played any games yet, we're using the stats that they had in the regular season, plus just my opinion of the regular season split. C9 have been kind of all over the place. And despite having a worse record than CLG, I do believe that C9 are better. I believe in every role they're better. So C9, 21st. I think a lot of people would agree with that, except possibly like, CLG fans. 20th, Fnatic. Oh, actually, because C9 played last week, let me tell you, C9 went 3-1, beating FlyQuest, TSM, and Immortals, losing to EG. Beating FlyQuest, that's a win that you need in the tiebreaker, mind you. Fnatic, 20th place, went 3-1, beat Misfits, Vitality, and Astralis, and then lost the tiebreaker. I like Fnatic. I like that they're coming in hot despite losing that tiebreaker. I think that upset fits this meta well. This is a bot lane meta where you can 1v9 and win as an AD carry. And upset is the LEC MVP in my opinion. So that's how that goes. I think that he gets it done in the playoffs in a best of 5. I think Fnatic get it done. Wonder has been in this moment a lot in his career. Humanoid as well has been in this moment a lot. And that's an advantage that they have over Misfits. Despite Misfits with Vethio being probably the best player outside of upset between the two teams, I think that when push comes to shove, Fnatic has the edge there, which I went over in yesterday's video. 19th, because I'm not dropping them, is Chief Esports Club. They haven't played yet in the playoffs, so I can't drop them yet. Pretty much, that's kind of the deal. If you watched yesterday's minor region video, they were already written on the board because they hadn't played any games. So I'm not going to penalize a team that hasn't played. So 19th for them. And there's not anything to say about them really, except that they went 21-0, and I think that should be respected. 18th, KT, you're dropping. I still believe KT are the 4th seed. I think they'd be the 3rd seed going to Worlds or go to 4th as a play-in team. I think that it's very feasible. They went to 5 games today against Damwon. If you missed my roundup earlier this morning where I went over the series that took place, watch it and you'll have an idea of what happened and transpired. That was fresh in my mind at the time. I think that they're really good. I think, Rascal and Aiming are world class. I think Vikla has a lot of potential. Cuz is sus as hell and life kind of hinted, but KT are still 18th. Lost to gen.g in the regular split to end 2-1, and lost to Damwon 3-2. So they are really close to their fellow LCK teams, but I'm dropping them because there is a chance that they could drop out outright and not make it to Worlds. That's just kind of a thing. Right now I have them as the 5th ranked LCK team in the rankings, which I had them before. I still have it that way. It's just the unfortunate reality of it. Making sure this board isn't moving like last time. I'll just fix it mid episode. Rogue are 17th. Rogue are 17th. They went 2-1, beating Vitality and XL, losing to BDS. They beat 2 teams that were trying to get into the playoffs and couldn't do it. 2 big, important wins. Rogue needed that after losing a couple games. Comp has been solid for a few weeks now. Larson I had as the number 1 mid laner. Malrung's left a lot to be desired, but Odo is good in top lane. I think Rogue definitely are going to be in the conversation for top 4. I think I have them in my top 4, and I do here as well. I think that, that's kind of the deal here. And now we're going to have a few LCS teams come off the board. TL, 100T, and EG. So I think they're all really close. TL beat Golden Guardians, Dignitas, lost to 100 Thieves. So TL below 100 Thieves right now in a best of 5 situation. I think 100 Thieves are extremely predictable, and that's what's going to lose them games. But as of right now, that's where they are. That's why I think C9 goes past 100 Thieves, is because I did pick them, right? Pretty sure I did. Because in a best of 5 situation, I like C9's variants more than 100 Thieves. Now, 100T beat TL, CLG, lost to FlyQuest. CLG, sorry that you lost to 100 Thieves. Not quite at that level. Second tier team. Right below C9 probably. Well, no. I had TSM above CLG in my video earlier today, didn't I? Yeah, that probably upset some people. Yeah, well, Maple, I think, has a playoff buff that a CLG player has never proven in a... no, they haven't. None of this... well, Contracts. Contracts has been around for a while. He might have had a moment where he proved, proved it in the playoffs. But TSM has players that have done it before. Maple's done it time and time again. EG, 14, 3-0. C9 Golden Guardians dig. Took care of business. EG continues to take care of business. Are they the second or third best Western team? Yes. Are they going to compete to win it all? Absolutely not. 13th, speaking of West, got the wrong marker. Mad Lions. Similar to Rogue, they were losing a couple games, but this past week they took care of business against BDS and Astralis. However, they lost to G2, which continues to separate them as the clear, not first team in the LEC. Well, where are they? Clearly not first. But that's not what they're not first. They're not first. G2 is definitely better than them. G2 down the stretch has really picked it up, but we have to keep in mind that the entire split was a complete fiesta in the LEC. So, Mad Lions, they right now are the team taking a dump. G2 did already before. But it is, we watch sports all the time. You want to get hot at the right time, and G2 is doing that, which we'll get to when we do. 12th place, Dom1, Kia, and then 11th, Sandbox. So why are these two teams dropping all of a sudden below G2? Yeah, because G2 still got to go, right? So Dom1, 1-1, beat KT, lost to T1, 2-0. Pretty damn soundly. So what do we have here? Well, there's two things going on. I have no faith in Birdall getting Dom1 over the hump. None at all. Absolutely none. So, with that in mind, I can't put them in this column. This column, although it was 7 and above last time, this column's definitely for people that I think can win Worlds. With Birdall, I don't think they can do it. Got 2-0'd by T1. I think there's clearly a gap there, and they're going to play again Sunday or Saturday? So we'll see how that goes in a best of 5. But that is what it is. And they barely got past KT only because KT made a terrible macro decision in Game 5 after almost coming back from a 2-0 deficit. Sandbox 2-0 beat Fred at Breon during the regular split and then beat DRX in the playoffs 3-1 pretty soundly. So I think they're pretty good. But I have them dropping a bit because I do think that there are teams that are getting better at the right time and that I like more than Sandbox. Sandbox's bot lane's very good, but I think that's really all they have going for them right now. And that can only take you so far in a Worlds format, best of 5 format, against the elite of the elites, right? Top Western team, yeah. G2. Excuse me. People think I don't like G2 because I only had one of them in my all-star team. Well, it was a fiesta of a split. Sorry. If you think there was a consistent split, you weren't watching the same thing I was. So, G2, 3-0. Beat Mad Misfits SK. Great final week of the split. SK were on a hot streak. Beat SK. Beat Mad Lions, a team that's at your level. That's important. That clearly shows there is a gap here. Probably right here. So, that's a thing. and beat Misfits, taking care of business, showing that there is another gap there as well. So that is what that is. G2 obviously very good. I do think they're the best Western team. I've said it multiple times in this video, and I'm not backing off that statement. 9th place, LNG. I think LNG played very well against BLG. Ale, not so much, and that could mean they lose tomorrow against Weibo, and then they're no longer, well, are they eligible for qualifiers? I don't know. They might not be. And if they're not, then they're out of the board entirely. But as of right now, Do and Be pulling out Nocturne and Corky is fun, interesting. That is the sort of stuff that gets them wins. If you missed my roundup this morning, I talked about the LNG Weibo matchup in a little bit more detail. So LNG are 9th. They went 2-0, beating Weibo 2-0 last week. Important win. Weibo, some would argue Weibo didn't need that win. I think they needed that win. And then beat BLG 3-1 in sound fashion outside of top lane. So 9th place for LNG. 8th place T1. T1 beat Damwon Kia 2-0 very soundly. So they are back in this list of teams that can win Worlds. They are indeed. That was a big recovery win for them and made me happy to see. So we'll see how T1 do against Sandbox, right? Did I say Sandbox lost? No, I said DK lost to T1. I didn't say Sandbox. Sandbox plays Gen G. Jesus Christmas. So T1, World's contender. That was a clean win, and it was important that they got it against DK. 7th place, RNG, dropping a bit. So there's two things going on here. They lost to LGD, a team that stinks. That's bad. That's bad news. Some would argue they didn't need that, but they actually did for seeding purposes. Now they actually, I think they're in single elim instead of double elim or something. I don't know. Either way, they needed it, and they lost. So you can look at it from two ways. You can say, well, they weren't trying. Okay, well, they're still a Worlds contender either way. If they tried or didn't try, just lost a series. But I will say that you probably should be trying all the time if you're in this list. So 7th, losing to LGD. I'm not really happy with how Xiaohu's been playing recently. I feel like his impact has not really been quite as impactful. Hopefully in the playoffs he does become more impactful. Wei has kind of been irrelevant as well, and that's kind of concerning too, if you are a fan of theirs. 6th place is Weibo. Weibo lost to LNG. That loss is not quite as bad as RNG's, so they're still where they are, 6th place. But losing LNG is a thing. LNG were only 7-8 at the time. Now LNG are in the playoffs 8-8, and you have to play them again. And it would be sweet justice if LNG beat Weibo after Weibo supposedly didn't try against LNG. So it'll be interesting to watch. At their best, they're a World's contender. That's why they're in this column still. But that loss is not acceptable, and that's the sort of stuff that makes Weibo not acceptable as a World's contender, because they games away for absolutely no reason other than just literally not wanting to win. It's kind of like irritating. I don't like players that play that way. 5th place, EDG. And actually, fifth place EDG, Victory 5, Top, and JDG. These three teams didn't play, so nothing really to say. EDG beat FPX today 3-1 pretty soundly. Flandre playing great. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. Viper playing really good. Scout, solid. And Junjia is fitting into that team well. Definitely a World's contender once again. I hope that they can make a little bit of a run here and have an opportunity to defend their title at Worlds. Definitely a very stacked LPL, though. You see here, there's going to be 7 of the top 9 in the LPL. So it is going to be a dogfight to the end. Like I said, these three teams didn't play, so there's nothing to say about them. Oh, actually, sorry. Top beat Anyone's Legend 2-0. King Tian did not look that good in top lane, but Knight and Jaculov absolutely railroaded Harder and Betty, so that is a thing to keep in mind. I do think top definitely are really good. Definitely, I could see them winning Worlds. I could. And then the last team, Gen.g, first place. Gen.g. I do think Gen.g took their foot off the gas against KT, and that's why they almost lost. They only won 2-1. But Gen.g play the cleanest brand of League of Legends in the world right now. It's going to be really fun watching their defensive macro style against JDG's aggression at Worlds, hopefully. Excuse me, when it comes to top esports, I think they're just like Gen, just not as good. Barely not as good. I think that Gen have Chovy and Ruler both top 5 in the role, and then top have Knight and Jaculov both top 5 in their role in the world. So that is a thing, right? You have to like be like, oh wow, geez. And they play very similar. So when push comes to shove there, it's going to be real interesting to watch at Worlds. But nevertheless, comment down below with your opinions on who you think the top 25 are. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. If you missed earlier today, my LCS wrap-up went out. That will show up here somewhere, as well as the minor region power rankings from yesterday. Keep in mind that LCS wrap-up is scuffed as hell. I moved my laptop to try and get a better angle on the screen to be able to see if I was on the screen, and boy was I on the screen, because I had shifted the camera so I became all on the screen and part of the window and only 2/3 of the board. So that video is scuffed as hell, but it's up if you want to watch it, and thank you for watching.